Hello, hello, everybody.
What up?
So, did you haven't been on Twitter lately, right?
No, I haven't been on
Oh,
Twitter is one shit I haven't been on in a minute, and I just got rid of Facebook.
I just got rid of Facebook. Um, the thing that was on Twitter yesterday that blew up like a motherfucker, which was hilarious,
Yeah.
was Trump serving.
Mm.
Mc-
I saw that like just in the news, like because that was on Instagram and shit too.
He served McDonald's, Wendy's, and what was the third one?
It was and pizza, right?
Was it pizza? It might have been pizza with it,
He,
but I
he
thought.
definitely had some pizza.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was like McDonald's, Wendy's, and Pizza Hut, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he served it to whatever some
Clemson.
college team that won some shit.
He's so
I
like
love that. That's what I wanted to talk about. Like everybody was dunking on him, and I was like, I don't know. I kind of think that's awesome.
it's just such a fucking Trumpian move to do all that shit. Like, and then he's like someone showed me that he spelled hamburgers wrong in his tweet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like he does that shit to bring attention to himself because he's always gonna have two people on the either side of his battle. You know, like they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's a dick for getting McDonald's," and then someone else is gonna be like, "But he bought Mad McDonald." You know, like you can't knock a person if they come home with a shit ton of fast food. Like that's every person's dream. You know?
Well, that's the thing is that a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people don't like fast food or look down on fast food because
Hmm.
it's like obviously not good for you, but it's
Yeah,
also like chemically and
delicious.
scientifically engineered to be as delicious as possible.
Yep.
So I feel like whenever people go after Trump for shit like that, it actually just makes him look like a normal ass dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the fact that he likes shitty fast food is actually something that's endearing because I love shitty fast food. I'm not proud of it, but I love fucking fast food.
Yeah.
So to have this guy who's just like, oh, I bought a bunch of McChickens. I bought a tremendous number of what's the Wendy's one? Baconator, Baconators, amazing
Baconator.
Baconator, Baconator, tremendous Baconator.
I would have given him respect if he was just like we bought all the shit off the dollar menu, but he had like Big Macs in there and
No,
shit
son.
like
One
that.
of the shits said there was a deal at McDonald's where like for three different things that cost like $2 or some shit like that, and he got all that. He's like, I got a bunch of that shit. Like he did some dollar menu type shit.
I could sort of fuck with him on that. Like
I knew it. That's why I wanted to talk about this.
the only optic that didn't look right is I saw him speaking behind the table, and the shit looked like glorious. Like it's like shit you dream of. Like you dream of a table where there's just Big Macs and pizza and like the
Son, do
fries
you
looked a little
remember?
weird because they were in like some like square shaped cup. Like they looked weird because it was probably just all presidential like fucking silverware that he had to put all this shit in.
Were you at the poker club way back in the day when the head guy walked in with a whole big ass bag full of McDonald's and he
I
just
might have.
dumped everything on the table? It was like I got double cheeseburgers
I might
here,
have.
I got McNuggets here, I got McChickens here, we got fries like crazy.
Might have been.
I when I saw that, I was like, I heard the heavenly sounds in my head like, oh.
Son, I told you about the time when I was in Miami with my stepbrothers and Jed, my brother.
No.
It was like 3 in the morning, and my stepbrother, who knows what the fuck he was doing in Miami, but he came like so. My grandma has an apartment, and then she's got some other shit that she usually rents out, but most of the time she doesn't rent it out. So we were staying there. It's like an old age thing. My stepbrother came home at like 3 in the morning. It's my stepbrother, me, and Jed. 3 people. He bought 100 tacos from Taco Bell and just had
What?
bags of Taco Bell. I was like he picked me up one, and I was like, what? What do you do? What are you doing? Wake me up one. You have how many tacos? Like
Why would you do that many tacos?
he bought like it might have even been more, but like 100 is the base minimum of what he had.
Oh, oh, that's so awesome. That's the best thing ever.
I can't even imagine placing that order. Like
Nah,
you,
that's the where even the cashiers kind of has a responsibility to be like, "You sure about this?"
but at 3 in the morning, if you're working at Taco Bell, you know like crackheads are coming by.
Oh
That
hell
shit.
yeah,
So you're
people.
not questioning orders at 3 in the morning.
No, you're right. The thing that was so funny about the White House thing is there were so many good tweets over it. One of them was that guy Kamau Bell. he tweeted like he was pretending like he was like a White House intern type person, and Trump is like, oh no, the intern says like, okay, Mr. President, I'll put all the McNugget sauces in Lincoln's silverware. In Lincoln's gravy dish, and then he zoomed in on the picture. That's like literally what they did. It was this like ornate ass silver gravy dish, and you see like honey mustard in that bitch, barbecue.
Oh my God. It's just he's making a mockery of the White House, and it's like sort of funny, but like sort of like
he's entertaining as fuck, even though the world is melting down and everything's broken.
That's what I'm saying. Like who did he have place that order? Like, did they do that shit from one McDonald's? Because other motherfuckers must have been waiting for food. Like,
yeah, I like how we got to figure out the logistics. Like, how did this work? Who did it? No, I know.
He put it on his credit card, like, so the McDonald's cashier, some regular ass McDonald's person, had Donald Trump's credit card in their hand. Like,
that's a good
that
question.
could start like a credit card game, you know? Like,
the best picture was like it literally is like a work of art. You see Trump standing there behind the table. The table's got all the shit on it, and he's got his hands out like this. And then, so you see all like the ornate gold shit in the room. Like, you know, he's got like the gold curtains and the gold fucking lamps and shit. Everything is so ornate. And so you have that contrasted with the shitty ass, cheap ass food. And then you see Trump standing there. And then right over Trump's head behind him is a picture of Abraham Lincoln. And it looks like Abraham Lincoln is looking down at him like,
what the fuck are you doing,
you
man?
Motherfucker, what have you done?
I saw some shit with the hamburger, like, in the corner in one of the photos. There was some meat.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, no, I fuck with that, man. I wish I was there. I would have had some Wendy's at the White House.
I would have just preferred if he was just wearing some, like, regular ass clothes, though. Like, if he wasn't wearing his pea coat and shit.
Trump wears that shit to sleep. Trump has a tie on. He's got a suit on when he goes to sleep. He actually doesn't even have a body underneath it. It's just he takes off his suit. It's just another suit underneath it. The way I think of Trump's clothes, like people think of my legs. Like, you know how they're like, even when they see my legs, they're like, your legs are not real. They're just not real. That's how I think of Trump
in some other suits.
Shit. Yeah, he's just always wearing suits.
Yeah, I can't picture him in just like an Adidas jumpsuit or some shit like that.
When he showers, he's wearing a suit. He's just got a suit on. And you know, imagine what that motherfucker's hair looks like in the morning when he wakes up. That's got to be wild, waking up next to that fucking wildebeest.
Oh, I'd love to see it like wet, like showering.
Well, that's the thing is like I'm so curious what it would look like because I know even me with my hair, and I got short ass hair normally, but when I wake up in the morning, shit'll be like kind of cranked up in the back and fucked up, and you got to throw water in it and then do something to it in order to make it not look like I was shocked or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So imagine what his is like.
Damn, I still can't like. So even with the government shutdown, like, so motherfuckers like his like someone can't cook in his fucking house.
Well, well, that's what they were saying. They were saying that he was saying like the reason that he decided like I'll just get them all fast food is because I guess the White House kitchen was shut down. But I didn't think the White House shutdown affected that, but I guess I was wrong.
That shit seems a little bogus. Like you can't. Nah, fuck that. Like, you're working in the White House for the president. You're not going to be like, oh, sorry, I'm not cooking for you. Like, we're on some strike shit. Like,
well, if they're not getting paid, fuck that. Would you?
But then there's still, I'm still confused by, so TSA people are government, but it's their like option if they want to go to work and shit like that. Like, I'm confused
TSA
by that.
people are government, and my understanding was that they just passed the bill recently to give these people backed pay. But for a while, they were working without pay. Like, some people missed paychecks. And TSA
so that's where I'm fucking lost. Like, if I'm working for the government and not paying me, I'm not, like, I'm not showing up.
Well, a lot of people didn't show up. A lot of people called in and said, I'm sick, and then they didn't go.
Yeah.
But then other people went, and then then eventually they got the backed pay. They just passed a bill to give some of the backed pay, but I don't know the specifics of it in terms of, are there still people who are not getting paid or who are going to miss a paycheck? Because I think there are. I think they only did back pay a certain amount and they didn't do it like.
There has to be people missing out on like paychecks still if the government is still shut down.
Yeah, well, I know somebody who knows somebody who's like a Secret Service person.
Oh, really?
on some shit, but like I don't know them. It's one of those like I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody type shit. But I know it's a legit ass source that would never make some shit up. And they said that like this week is the last week that they're getting the paycheck, and then shit has to get like passed and ironed out that hasn't been ironed out yet. So yeah, it's a partial government shutdown, they call it, and basically what that means is all the shit that is like regular people, they're getting fucked. Like regular ass workers who work for the government, they're getting fucked.
But all the government people I heard are still making their paychecks, right?
Well, that's a lot of aspects of the military still fully funded. Like there's a lot of shit that's still fully funded that is the normal shit that regular people, that rich ass people would partake in. Like that's the thing. There was a lot of like the people on Morning Joe on MSNBC. They're all like rich assholes, and they're like, "Well, I haven't felt it." It's like, yeah, because you're a fucking rich asshole. But if you're a regular government worker, you feel that shit.
Hell yeah! If you're just doing some regular ass, like if you're a TSA worker, that's
a regular job, and you need your paycheck. And that's the Bernie was tweeting about it. He gave the number. I forget what the number was, but he was saying like X% of government workers live paycheck to paycheck, and we're not paying them right now. That's nuts. Yeah. Like there are people who are taking out loans to pay their fucking mortgage, man. That's real shit. Yeah. And now the crazy thing is that now we have government shutdowns like on the regular. This wasn't a thing that was normal before the modern era. Like this was a thing that never happened before the modern era. I remember the shutdown in 2013 because of Republicans under Obama. Now, obviously, I remember this shutdown. And then there was maybe one or two others. But before that, it was not a regular occurrence. When they would create a budget and they would fund it, and then it would never get to the point where they either wouldn't iron out a new budget or if they just did a continuing resolution, they would just get it done quick and then there wouldn't be a shutdown. But now it's like a normal ass thing that there's a shutdown, and that's crazy. And that also has implications for how the world looks at us, because the dollar,
they look at us crazy as it is right
but
now.
the dollar is the world reserve currency, which means like all the other currencies are linked to the dollar in a way. So, but now they know that we're crazy motherfuckers over here in America, so they don't trust us anymore. Like all this shit has implications for world politics. You know what I mean? It's like part of the decline of the American empire. It's like we're watching it unfold right in front of us. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. I mean, if he's really going to stick to his guns on his shit, it's sort of scary, because it's like he seems like he's gonna, but he's got to give in at some point.
Well, no, but here's the thing. He says, I have the he doesn't, but he says, I have the absolute right to declare a national emergency and just build the wall without the approval of Congress. That's what he said. So he's gonna, if he really, really wants to get that wall done, he's gonna have to do that. And then when he does that, there's gonna be a million lawsuits. It's gonna get tied up in federal court. Yeah. And overwhelming likelihood that the wall, even if it starts being built, is not going to be fully built by the time he's out of office. And then whoever the next president is going to stop building the wall.
You know what I was thinking, which I couldn't really understand, and maybe just because I'm an idiot, but like since we're like connected with Canada, and there's obviously like when you drive through upstate New York, there's a border, like when you get to Montreal and shit like that. But if you go like east and west of that shit, like there's not border entry points at every like.
Yeah, that's right. There's no wall on the northern.
Yeah,
border.
So how like can you just walk into Canada
if you're
like, not a border port?
If you live in a state on the border in like the Midwest, yeah, you could.
There's
wide
probably
open.
it's just like here in Canada, like
yeah, it's wide open.
Yeah,
it's wide open. You can just walk through. I mean, theoretically, there'll be some Mounties on the other side, like the Canadian police. Like the Canadians have, I guess.
Yeah, but they don't have that. They can't. It's not possible to have that shit across.
Yeah,
the
no,
whole
you
shit.
don't.
Like,
no, you don't. You don't have it all the way across. No. So yeah,
that's how it's got to be down, like in.
Well, actually,
Mexico, right?
Actually, the funny thing is, there's a lot of places that have a border wall already on the southern border. Like, there's a lot of area of border wall where it's suspected that there's a lot of crossings. Mm-hmm. So they don't have it in a lot of other areas, but those other areas are not typically viewed as like high traffic areas. So there are areas where it's wide open. And like that's the other thing is that like, let's assume for a split second that, okay, he's going to build the wall and he's going to try to do the wall across the entire border. And, okay, do you have any idea how much of a massive headache and undertaking that is? Because there's so many issues. Like, there was a great detailed breakdown from a while ago about how there's communities where there's, like, golf courses in Texas, and the golf courses, like, certain holes go across the border and are in Mexico. And if you actually build a wall all along the border, you're going to have to build it through a fucking golf course. So then what that means is, if he really wanted to do it, he would have to use eminent domain, take that land from the people who own it, and then just build the wall across the golf course. But all this is years and years of litigation. And like, this is not a quick thing that just happens and it's fixed, and like, it's a long process, and there's a lot of open questions as to how exactly would you build it, what would you do, like, what about areas where you just obviously don't need it, why would you build it there? Like, there's a lot of but it's it really ultimately, core, it's just symbolic for the right. Like, that's their, like, you know how the rallying cry for the left is Medicare for all? Like, let's have a Medicare for all system and everybody get health care. For them, they're like, the thing that gets the Pavlovian response from them is the wall.
But it makes him not have to talk about anything else, which he's not educated on, where it's simple to just talk about a wall.
But, and you know, it's funny because, you know how I always say how Republicans always shore up their base and Democrats always spit in their base's eye. So the Republicans are always doing what their most hardcore, fervent supporters want them to do, and the Democrats are always doing the opposite of what their most hardcore, fervent supporters want them to do.
Yeah.
And so I think that's honestly one of the reasons why Trump's approval rating in his own party is 92%, and it's the highest of any president ever in their own party. So I think that's why, for the exact reason you just said, because all he does is go on and on about the border wall. And like, that's the same shit that, like, Uncle Cletus sitting at the Thanksgiving dinner table in Kansas, like, that's the same shit he's yelling at his young liberal nephew and niece about. Like, that's his go-to issue, you know?
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I still can't get over him buying fucking McDonald's. Like, that's so...
I love that shit. I was looking at those pictures. I was like, this is kind of badass. I really like this. Like, that really is the best part of Trump, other than when he was just shitting on all the other Republicans in the debate, which was glorious to watch. The best part of Trump is his love of fast food.
I know, and he houses that shit, right? He fucks with KFC.
All of it. He fucks with all of it. Like, it's a thing. I remember them talking about it when he was running. Like, he was asked questions about it, and he's like, I love it all. I love KFC. I love Big Macs. Tremendous. Unbelievable.
It's crazy because I could probably not connect with any other president on, like, anything. Like Obama going to, like...
Nah. I guarantee you would get along well with Obama, I think. And maybe even Bill Clinton.
Oh, Bill Clinton. Yeah, that's my guy. But I was telling you, I'm so tired of the whole Monica Lewinsky shit. Like, stop coming out with these old-ass documentaries and... like, old shit. Like, people don't give a fuck anymore. Even though it's, like, cool to hear these hidden tapes and, like, these leaked, shit. That shit is so, like, old. Like, no one gives a fuck anymore. Like,
I love documentaries, man. They make my life. I love those shits.
It's cool. Like, it's cool to see and hear old footage of, like, some shit that you lived through that you didn't really know much about. You know, like, you just heard Monica Lewinsky was doing this shit. I guess it's cool in a sense, but I'm also just over, like, these, like, old-ass events, like O.J. Simpson, fucking Monica Lewinsky, like...
So you're not a history buff? You don't like all history stuff?
Not really. Like, I mean, I like watching Pawn Stars, but I don't give a shit that the gun was from, like, 19...
Yeah, that's not really history. That's just more... I mean, I guess it can be tied into history a little bit, but... Yeah,
I mean, I guess it is cool that they'll come in with, like, a gun that, like, some dude used from, like, 1342 and, like, shooting people up.
Have you ever seen the, like, those shows about the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s? Like, remember?
Yeah, those shits I don't give about. Like, when it's black and white and they're, like, doing war shit, shooting, and they're, like...
Well, that's not what I was referring to, but I like those too. Like, I'll watch old... I've probably seen every World War II documentary ever made, ever.
Yes, those don't get me. But like, yeah, no, I can't get behind those old shits because it's just usually just like an old fighter plane just flying over some shit, dropping
Nah, man, it's
bombs.
fascinating when they talk about when you learn about everything that was happening with World War II, how Hitler had taken over so much land.
Yeah, but wouldn't you much rather want to watch like The Bachelor?
Fuck no. Fuck, like if I had to watch your daytime TV schedule, I'd be miserable.
I'm
And
watching Ellen's Game of Games
like to
right
see
now.
that's it right there. Like if I had to watch Ellen or if I had to watch Kelly and somebody,
Kelly and Ryan
there you
Seacrest.
go. Fuck them. Fuck them
Or
both.
The
Ryan
View?
Seacrest.
That would be like torture for you, I think, if
No,
you
no,
watch.
no. The View is the least torturous because at least
Oh,
they're
really?
at least they get somewhat political. But
Yeah.
nowadays, you're right. I think it would be torturous today because even like Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, who are like the furthest left on the panel, they
Yeah.
keep shitting on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
And I know why, too, because Whoopi's rich as a motherfucker, and
Yeah.
she heard that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said, hey, maybe we should have a 70% top marginal tax rate, and she doesn't want her fucking taxes raised. That's why she doesn't like AOC. It's not a secret. Like, that's it. Like, of course, Whoopi Goldberg wants a society that's kind and fair and just to women and minorities and black people and gay people. Like, she's all about that. But then if you talk about raising her taxes and
Like,
make
nah.
the top marginal rate 70%, she's like, fuck that. I'd rather have Nancy Pelosi or one of the establishment Democrats who's going to be good on social issues, but, you know, kind of let me keep all my fucking money. Like, I honestly think that's what it is. Like, I really think that that's what it is.
Probably. That's all the celebrities. I mean, like, if shit were to start to, there's only very few that like really believe like if you take a lot of my money, I'll be cool with it. But
Yeah.
I'm sure all these other celebrities, if they started taking their money,
Yeah.
they'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
That's the thing. They like I feel like celebrities love establishment type Democrats. Like they love the establishment types because
Yeah.
they're not going to rock the boat too much. They're not going to change the status quo too much, but they're just not going to be terrible people to minorities. So it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm on board with being good to minorities because that's an obvious one, and I support that. But yeah, don't take too much of my money. Fuck that.
The
You
whole
know?
fucking system. They just swore in a guy in Illinois, JB Pritzker,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fat fucking guy
Billionaire
who like,
dude. Mm-hmm.
yeah, billionaire dude. Nothing against fat people, but he like like he obviously just won because he's a billionaire. Like
Yeah, that happens way too
people
often
like
in our
people
political
don't like
system.
you. You look like a fucking crook.
Yeah.
But the reason you're in front of us right now is because you're a billionaire. You know, like I don't know his like.
Yeah, he bought his way.
Yeah.
He bought his way to the position he's in, which is why our system's so fucked up and we need public financing for sure. Speaking of since we're on the topic of politics, I mentioned this just before we came on air, but there's a senator from New York, Kirsten Gillibrand, and she decided she's going to run for president.
Was she good?
No, she's like an establishment type Democrat. I mean, she's okay, but you know, it's going to be hard for I think people to try to determine who's the real deal and who's just kind of mimicking the things to try to get elected. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's people who really believe in Medicare for all, and then there's people who within the past 5 months have been like, yeah, Medicare for all, sure. You
She
know?
reminds me of like Jake Gyllenhaal and Mr. Hildebrand for some reason.
For
So
me,
when every time you say her name, I don't know who she is, but it just reminds me of Jake Gyllenhaal and Mr. Hildebrand.
well, I'm doing nicknames for all the Democrats running for office. So
Yeah.
I haven't come up with one yet for Gillibrand. I was bouncing a few around in my head. So
Wait, what is it? Kristen Gillibrand?
Kirsten, not Kristen.
Oh,
Kirsten Gillibrand. But yeah, so we could either do Kirsten Gyllenhaal,
Yeah, Gyllenhaal. I like Gyllenhaal.
or I was thinking Kirsten Jellobrand.
Ooh, Gillibrand's a good one.
Yeah.
I think just she associates with Gyllenhaal more.
Gyllenhaal more than Jellobrand. Kirsten Jellobrand. But see, the Jellobrand one I might fuck with more because there's this other lady who's probably going to run. She's a senator, and nobody even knows who the fuck she is. Her name
And
is...
her name is Deborah Gillibrand.
Imagine. Her name's Amy Klobuchar, and the nickname I already decided on for her is Amy Cloud Boot Jar.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, just because put three random things together that sound like her name. So I was thinking Gillibrand is kind of sticking with that same theme. But Gyllenhaal is good too, though. I like that. Kirsten Gillibrand.
And then I thought of Avatar with the other girl.
But there's a chance for the Gyllenhaal one, there's a chance that people will respond and be like, nah, bro, her name's Gillibrand. Like, they might think that I really think her shit is Gyllenhaal, you know? Yeah. But with Gillibrand, nobody's going to read that and go, bro, it's Gyllenhaal. Or Gillibrand. They'll be like, LOL, he said Gillibrand. Yeah, sorry, Gillibrand it is.
I think you just swayed me towards Gillibrand.
Yeah, but what I'm afraid of, though, is that might be some idiots who hear that and they think, is he saying that she's fat? And that's sexist. Oh,
yeah.
But she's not even remotely fat.
Or if someone's against Jell-O. I learned the hard way. Yo, I didn't know so many people fucking loved cats. You can't come at cats on anywhere.
Oh, yeah, I saw. People hate you.
Yeah, I read some of the comments. Motherfuckers are going, yo.
And people were mad at me. I was like, yo, I was semi-defending cats. What the fuck?
It's a fucking cat. Like, if someone made fun of my dogs, like, that's what's up.
That's what's up.
Cats, man. Like, people gotta,
that's what's up.
Suck.
People make fun of my dog.
I'll double down on that shit. But damn, motherfuckers are cat lovers.
Yeah, I breezed through the comments real quick the other day, and I was like, God damn, people hate Corin now. You've always been the fan favorite too, so I was like, damn, you just dropped in the power rankings.
For real, yeah, you can't hate on cats. That was a no. Fuck.
That's so funny.
I got the crib to myself, so I could curse tonight. I don't have babies crying and shit like that.
That was funny. What did I say it sounded? Oh, yeah, I said that she sounded like a cat last time. It was in the distance, and it was like...
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
Try, like, hearing that shit every night. But then again...
That's so life as a parent, dog.
You associated that shit with an annoying ass, or a weird sound. Cats make that sound every fucking night.
Imagine living in the country.
You gotta get used to that sound when they're like...
Imagine living in the country and having to hear roosters at the crack of dawn. Because that's what happens. That's what roosters do at the crack of dawn. They're like... Like, at the crack of dawn, they do that every day. So you're getting up at that time. Like, you don't have a choice. It's an alarm that won't shut up.
How many alarms does it take you to wake up? Like, if you got to set an alarm for the next day.
It depends.
Can you just set one shit and be good?
It depends. Let's say I got to sleep late and my alarm is set for early, it's hard.
If you went to sleep late and your alarm is set for some early shit, so you'd have to set a lot. So let's say I get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Like, that's the low end. I would have to hit the snooze like twice. Okay, but you would set one alarm and just keep hitting that snooze?
And keep hitting snooze, yeah.
So Molly will set, like, I'm not exaggerating, she'll set some shit at like 5:10, 5:15, 5:20, up until like 6:40.
So she'll
turn the shit off.
Plans for her whole, like, I'm going to sleep through 8 of these.
Yes.
Yeah, but you gotta, like, as a general rule, just commit to getting up when you hear that shit. Like, force yourself. Like, I gotta get up.
I say.
Yeah.
I'm like, just set one at 6:30.
And
tell me, and I'll wake you up or some shit. But she needs to, like, I don't know what the fuck it is.
That's funny.
And some people are like that.
That's
funny. But I get so tight.
On a normal...
I'll go like 7 alarms before I'm like, how many more fucking alarms? And I know that there's only, and it's usually always just one left. So if I were to just held out that one more, I'd be good.
On a normal day, it would just, like, I get 8 hours of sleep, let's say. Yeah. All I need is the one, and I'll get right up. Like, if I slept a normal amount, then I'm good on that one.
Same. But I think there's a lot of people that set mad alarms.
That's interesting, man. I wonder... So I guess, like, that literally is the case, that she plans out the whole, like, I can't wait to sleep through 5 of these.
Yeah.
So when she hears the first one, she goes, oh, okay, I still get to sleep. Well, then why'd you wake yourself up, Semi, to go back asleep? Like, why don't you just set one at 6 something?
That's what I'm saying. Why wake yourself up 7 times before that shit?
I used to hate getting up when I was young, man, for school. Oh, I used to hate that.
I don't know if I dreaded that shit. I think I was okay waking up.
I mean, you've never had a problem falling asleep, and then apparently you never have a problem getting up either. I always had trouble getting up.
Yeah, no, getting up was fine for me. Getting to sleep was good. And I could always fall asleep with the TV on and be
Yeah,
good
you
money.
fall asleep anywhere. I used to have a little timer. The first TV I ever had was like a 12 or 14-inch TV, tiny TV, but it had a sleep timer on it, and I'd set it for like 30 minutes or 60 minutes, and I would fall asleep with the TV on. Like, I couldn't fall asleep without it on. Like, I kind of became addicted to it. But now I can't really sleep with it on. Like, if I try to sleep with it on, I'm just like, why don't I just turn this off?
Yeah, I guess. But I think I'm more of like the scared aspect. Like I have the door closed in the room I'm in right now, and I'm shook that like someone's in my house.
You're funny,
So
man.
I think when the TV's on, I'm like, oh, I'm good. The TV's on.
Yeah,
No one's in my house.
that was definitely part of the thinking when I was younger. That was definitely part, like, oh, if I just keep this light going and
Yeah.
this sound going, it's like things are alive in here.
Yep.
But
It
if
was
you-
the Alfred Hitchcock Psycho movie that threw me off for that shit.
the
man.
shower scene.
The shower scene
Shower
will
scene
fuck
was
up
legit.
anybody. Like
Jaws
that was
ruined the water for me, man. I was not able to go.
Jaws?
I didn't like swimming after seeing Jaws because
Really?
I didn't like swimming after seeing Jaws. Never mind. Like, there was a 0% chance I would ever go in, like, the ocean or the sea or any, like, actual body of water. But even for fucking, like, pools, I was like, I just don't want to go in. I don't want to go in.
For real? It was like that?
It was a psychological thing. Like, I obviously knew there wasn't sharks in the fucking pool. I'm not a dumbass.
Yeah.
But it was a psychological thing, like, about water. It's just like, it just creeped me out. I mean, obviously, showers I could take. That was fine. But never, ever wanted to go in, like, the ocean. Like, if I'm at the beach, I'm not going in the fucking water. You're crazy.
I can't go in the beach water now. Some of that, I don't know how people go when the waves are going crazy and shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
So there's some movies that will fuck you up. Psycho fucked me up. So when I'm in the shower, one, that's the worst. But like when I'm in the house alone, it's a wrap. Like TV's got to be on, some shit, a light.
What about one of the scary movies that really got me when I was younger is it Scream?
Yeah, Scream was.
No, it was either Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm not
Oh,
sure
I know.
which one.
That they both were fucking scary.
But there's one scene, I think it was with Mekhi Phifer, where they're in a kitchen and they're talking, and then whoever the killer dude is takes the shit like a hook and just from the ceiling just fucking goes down and gets Mekhi Phifer with it and pulls him up. Like the hook goes through the back of his neck and out over here, and then he just pulls him up.
What?
That shit fucked me up. I was like, whoa, that is crazy. And the other one was Urban Legends. You ever see that movie?
That's the one I'm thinking
That
of.
shit fucked me up too as a kid. Urban Legends. That shit fucked me up, man.
That one was pretty scary. Which still to this day, and I'm starting to become more of this person, but if you see a cop driving, or if you're driving and you see a cop at night, do you like flash oncoming traffic to give them that heads up? Like, yo, there's a cop up here?
I've never done that, no. I mean,
No?
actually, maybe once or twice I've done it, but honestly, that hasn't even happened to me a lot, where, like, I'll see a cop will pass me, and then I'm driving and other cars are coming the other way.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happened a lot to me. But
Oh,
I maybe
really?
flashed once or twice the headlights, but it's not a normal thing. Why? Do you do it or not do it?
I think because I drive around like my neighborhood a good amount, that some people have done it to me, that now I started doing it just on some like, fuck these cops, like for trying to
So
take over our
everybody's in
neighborhood.
on it. Like, I'm looking out for you, you're looking out for me, right?
But I always get shook that I'm going to do it to a cop, or I'm going to do it to that Urban Legends movie shit, and the person's going to make a U-turn and start flashing me until I drive off the road and fucking crash.
No, okay. Now, since we're on this topic, one of our friends from high school, the one that we always played poker at his house, one time, I remember I was leaving school, and he like stopped me, and he was like, yo, hold on. I was like, what's up? He's like, listen, when you're driving home tonight, be careful. If somebody has their lights off, don't flash anybody, because it's gang initiation and they'll kill you.
That's what they said in the movie.
Oh, that was from the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
But he said that in real life. He was like, don't do it, because today's this day, you can't do that.
I think that was a thing, though. I think I remember
it
that,
wasn't a
too.
real thing. That shit is fake as fuck.
there's some fucking crazy people out there, man.
Son, we're in the suburbs, bitch.
Yeah.
There's nobody's pulling over to fucking light you up in the suburbs.
I guess not. Yeah, not on some like training day shit, like coming out with the gun.
We're not in the hood. Like, the person I'm driving by is like an architect or something. Like, you got an architect, you got an accountant, as if they're gonna do something.
I guess so. Yeah, but it is a scary fucking rumor to tell somebody.
That is. I was like, whoa, okay. I guess I won't give anybody the lights in that situation. I didn't even think whether or not it was true. I was just like, all right, I guess I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. There's some things that just look scary. Like, I still remember the opening scene of the movie The Town with Ben Affleck when they go rob the bank and they put on, like, the nun's mask.
Oh, yeah.
Like, sort of scary looking.
That was a good movie.
The Town was a banging movie, yeah.
Yeah, there are some things that it's weird how directors know exactly how to make you feel scared now. Like, there's a science to it. And a lot of it has to do with the build-up. Like, the music and the build-up. And I think a lot of the stuff that makes people scared is not even the thing itself. It's the build-up to the thing. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a way to kind of coax somebody's mind into feeling like, oh, shit, what's about to happen, you know?
Yep. Did you see the preview to the new Jordan Peele movie?
What's it called? I forget the name of it. But I did see it, and they got our song in that shit.
Yeah, I Got Five on it.
Yeah, that's always been one of my favorite songs.
But they slow it down into like some horror movie song.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit's gonna look scary as fuck too.
Yeah, that'll be a good movie. He was good with the other one, whatever it was called, the Us.
Oh, no. Get Out.
Get Out. Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Neil Brennan's stand-up comedy shit, like the dude who wrote on Chappelle's show with
Chappelle's
Chappelle.
boy. Yep. Mm-hmm.
He did. They came out with this new thing on Netflix, like Comedians of the World, and there was just like a whole bunch of comedians, and he had one segment that was pretty funny, and then from that he had some other thing called like Three Mics, where he like one of the mics was just straight like one-liner jokes. The middle mic, it was weird. He was like getting all emotional and like talking about how he's depressed and shit. And then the third mic was like where he was telling his jokes and shit. Like, it was a weird delivery. It was sort of cool.
Yeah,
well, like supposedly he was real depressed and shit like that.
He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast to talk about that.
Yeah,
and he said that he did ketamine treatment. He would go to the doctor and he would be given ketamine, and he said that cured him. That he only had to do it like 2 or 3 times or something, and then he was cured. I thought that was interesting. Ketamine's like a cat tranquilizer, I think.
Shit, don't say anything about cats. Motherfuckers will come at you.
Oh, I noticed those too. People were
they were like, they fucking getting at me.
Yeah, well, I mean, people have an emotional attachment to their pets, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
You haven't had dogs your whole life, but you have had them recently.
Just recently, yeah. Now I have 3 dogs because Molly's mom lives with us, and she's got a dog too.
It's weird how you're not allergic to the dog hair, but you are to the cat hair.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, but like, you would think after a while dogs would fucking learn. Like, so every time I've been coming home since we've had this dog for maybe 4 years or some shit like that, this one dog will always pick up a shoe and start barking, and like when the garage opens up, and it's like, I'm always like, shut the fuck up. Like, and he gets quiet after a second. But wouldn't you think after 5 years of doing some shit, you would stop barking?
That's a good point. It's funny because that's the old thing about dogs is like when you leave, they're convinced you're never coming back every time.
Yeah.
It's like, I've come back 100% of the time. So why do you think I'm not going to come back now?
I don't fucking get it.
I guess they just don't have the mental capacity to figure that out. But, I mean...
But they figure other shit out.
But that's the thing, is like they should have the mental capacity to figure that out because they can figure out quite a bit. Like, they're relatively smart animals.
Yeah.
You know, they say, I'm not sure. I wonder if there's a debate among scientists as to what the smartest animal is outside of us, of course, because we
probably like a monkey or some shit,
I was
right?
Say,
or a gorilla.
It's either going to be a monkey, a gorilla, or dolphin.
Dolphins are smart.
Dolphins are insanely smart.
Yeah, but they're a fucking dolphin, and all they do is just swim and shit.
Yeah, but they have...
Like, they can't be a professional, like, soccer player or some shit.
Neither can a fucking monkey or gorilla.
I mean, they could. They have legs and shit. A dolphin is just, like, some smooth...
Yeah, but...
Fucking, like, rounded shaped shit. Like, they can't do anything with their life.
Their brains are bigger than ours. Dolphins' brains are bigger than ours.
Yeah, I believe that, but I could still fucking kill a dolphin if I wanted to.
But
Like
so
a
that's how
dolphin.
you judge intelligence, by who can kill who? Then we're fucking dumb compared to bears. Bears are smarter than us.
Maybe, yeah.
No, that's not how you judge intelligence.
Well, no, I could plan to kill a bear. Like I could set up some traps and shit like
Yeah,
that.
if you had
bear,
a gun, you could kill a bear. But that's not
Yeah,
a
a
good
bear
measure of
can't hold a-
intelligence. Who can kill who? That's just not a good measure. That by that metric, a newborn baby is the dumbest thing on the fucking planet. Even
Yeah,
a
they
toddler,
are.
that's a baby. But no, even a toddler. The things going on inside the mind of, let's say, a 6-year-old boy or girl are super complex. But they'd be defenseless out in the wild. They get obliterated in 8
Yeah,
seconds.
but that's why like the lions and all that shit are the king of the jungle because they can kill. Like they're the highest
That's right,
killing
but
species.
but being able to kill, that's not the definition of intelligence. There's more to being intelligent than just being the top predator.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you could have dumbass predators who only have one mode of like just seek and destroy, but that doesn't mean they have any ability to do complex, mental breakdowns. Like
I guess so.
When you
I
look
mean, that's
at,
like the best UFC fighter or something is probably could fucking kill any one of us with their hands, but is probably a dumbass just because he's like a meathead.
yes, it's theoretically possible you could have somebody who can kick somebody's ass like nobody's business, but they might not be that smart. Mike Tyson. And I it's not even that I think he's dumb. I just think that he might be kind of dumb, but he's really honest. He's honest. Like, he's brutally honest, which makes him kind of likable, even though he might even admit that he's really not the brightest guy. But, like, he was a fucking monster who could destroy anybody in the ring. But, yeah, like, physical ability to kill is not the same thing as, like, intelligence. But I think it's either dolphins or some kind of monkey or gorilla that's, like, the smartest other than us.
Yeah.
And dogs are behind them, and even pigs have a similar mental capability to dogs.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious what the actual science on this would be. I'm just guessing that it's between dolphins and monkeys or gorillas for the smartest, but...
Well, because, I mean, we came from apes and shit like that, so that's got to be like the next level of animals.
Yeah, we have a common ancestor when you go back far enough.
Yeah.
With monkeys and gorillas. We have a common ancestor, apes, like you said.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this week. Life from when we were kids until now, it has changed so much. Like,
That's for damn sure.
think about it. When we were kids, Blockbuster was the shit.
Yeah, Blockbuster was the shit.
Going to Blockbuster, like, that was always so exciting. Like, oh my God, we're going to go to Blockbuster. We're going to get in the car. We're going to drive somewhere. We're going to walk in, and it's going to be like a wonderland of all the VHS tapes imaginable, and you get to pick what you want to watch.
Yeah.
And you rent it for like $5 or whatever it was.
I was actually going to get something for you or send you a picture, but I didn't end up doing it. I was in the Goodwill store, and they had this old-ass, like, golf game. It was like a board game, but you needed to put the VHS into, like, a fucking VHS player to, like, watch the game.
Shit.
So it was like old-school VHS shit. And I was like,
shit.
I don't even know. Like, I wouldn't even buy this for him because he
You don't
has
know
no
if I have a
use for it.
VCR.
Yeah, like, who the fuck has a VCR?
My mom might have one in the attic or something.
Maybe.
But yeah, I fucking loved VCRs, man. I thought they were the best thing ever. When you could record shit right off the TV.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was awesome. I loved it so much. But when you walked into Blockbuster, it was like, oh, look at all these movies. Like, I remember that feeling that you get when you walk in and you see all, like, the covers of the movies.
Yeah.
You're just like, I have so many options. This is the coolest thing ever. And then they never had that many candy options, but they always had some shit that I would like. So I would always grab it. Whether it's
They always had them at, like, the front, right?
Raisinets or Sour Power were my shit.
Yep.
Or
Milk
Snow
Duds
Caps.
they had.
Milk Duds they had.
And they had, like, the bucket of popcorn
Yup,
with
they had
just,
the
like, the
bucket of popcorn.
plastic shit in it that you still had to make the popcorn.
Yep. But that was like a good Friday night. Is like, let's go to Blockbuster and get a movie.
Yeah.
And then eventually, so that was one thing that we did when we were kids. The other thing is, I remember I had a birthday party once that was at an arcade, where you would go to the arcade and there would be video games at the arcade all around.
Yeah.
But, like, that place 100% no longer exists, because who the fuck needs to go somewhere to play video games
Well, I wonder if like Sport Time is still around.
That we went to Sport Time as kids too. I don't know if that's still around. I think it was as of like 5 or 7 years ago, but I don't know if
Well,
it's
they still have
there.
like Chuck E. Cheese's and Dave and Buster's and shit like that, and like New Rock still has an arcade like in the bowling alley.
True,
shit.
but the arcade that I went to was just an arcade.
Oh,
It was only an arcade, and you would pay however much it was, and then you get to run around and just play the video games. And I had a couple of birthdays there.
yeah. I don't. I think those places are coming back now on some like that's almost vintage
Some
now.
throwback stuff. I mean, I wish VHS came back like that. I fuck with VHS.
Maybe
man.
nah, I doubt it will. Just
Nah,
because
it
like
won't.
it'll be like it'll be like what it is for people that use those big ass CDs. What the fuck are they called? I'm drawing a blank.
DVDs? No.
No, like the fucking shit that Joey Diaz
records,
always has.
Records.
Yeah, records.
Yeah.
It'll be like records for us. Like someone will have an old VHS and pop that shit in, and just the quality will look grainy and shit like that, and they'll be like, just gonna relax with an old VHS.
Yes.
But I guess it's different for visual because, like, maybe it does actually sound better music on
Well, that's what they say. It's got a distinct sound to it. And it's not even that it's like objectively better and that it's more clear, because it's not, but it has the sound to it that makes it vintage. That's like, oh, I like that.
Isn't it crazy how records work? It's literally a needle on a fucking like record.
It's crazy how everything works. We couldn't figure this shit out. That's why.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about a record right now. All that shit is a little ass needle just going around on some black record, and
then
it plays like
the song.
words
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah. That's
Like,
crazy.
what?
That's fucking nuts.
Like how did someone figure that? Like
I know. Think about it. In our grandma's lives, when they were kids, TV didn't exist.
yeah,
TV didn't even exist. Now we're graduating from TV. Like, internet is slowly killing TV.
yeah.
But when they were kids, all they had was radio. Like, you want to have some fun? Turn on, like, spooky stories on fucking 700 AM. And then they'd have to sit there and listen to it.
How is AM radio still a thing? Like I was
It's
trying to
not.
find a football
Like,
game on AM radio. It was just all staticky.
It is
like
buns,
shit overlapping
trash,
each other. Yeah.
So bad, but it's still going. I mean, it's amazing to me that anybody pays Rush Limbaugh money for him to do his show, because nobody's fucking listening to that shit.
What is the benefit? Like, what's even the difference between AM and FM? Like, do you get more frequency waves on AM? And
I have no idea. I know FM is usually more music, AM is usually talk, but there is
I know,
some.
yeah. But what's the like? I always felt like all the newsy, weathery shit was on AM.
Yeah,
and like
me
political
too.
shit.
Yeah, and then on FM it was music. I guess FM has got to be a little better quality, because AM. One time I heard
shit.
music on AM a few times and it sounded worse.
The Disney shit used to be Radio Disney used to be on AM.
See?
You would tune through the shit and it'd be like weather today, and it'd be like and then you'd keep going and it'd be like sports or some shit. But I don't know why Radio Disney was on.
I actually like XM, but there's no way that's gonna last that much longer. I don't think.
Why don't you think?
Because
Just because people have to pay for that shit?
No, not even that. It's because why would anybody even get XM and pay for it when they could just listen to podcasts and from their phone? Like plug their phone into it and listen to podcasts that way.
I sort of had a weird vision this morning that podcasts were going to fizzle out.
Yeah, but it's just there's always been one version or another of podcasts. Like AM radio was a podcast. Like that was the idea of a podcast,
True.
And then now it's just a better version of that because you could just pick whenever you want to listen to it,
Yeah.
So I don't see how, whatever replaces the internet eventually maybe will make podcasts die out, but then there'll be a new version of podcasts,
Yeah, I guess so. I'm still very curious what the purpose of AM is. It has to like have a cast like a wider
yeah, I don't know.
Shit.
I don't know. I really have no idea. I wish I did though. But the other thing from when we were kids, I used to get so excited when I went to Sports Authority.
Oh yeah, Sports Authority's out of fucking
Now it's out of business,
now.
man. There was a bunch of them around us. A bunch of them.
Sports Authority used to be everywhere.
And I would get so excited to go in there and just look at all this stuff. And
Toys R Us too. Imagine when
that was my next one was Big Top, not Toys R Us, but Big Top.
Oh, Big Top. Yeah, is Big Top all done too?
That's done. I know that the one I used to go to when I was a kid is done. but I don't know about if it's done.
I stopped going into Big Top because I stole from them one time.
Damn, what'd you take?
Well, I got away with a pack of Pokemon cards.
Oh, shit.
And then I tried to get greedy, and I went back and tried to steal a Dr. Grip pen.
Oh, shit.
And the dude caught me on round 2.
And what'd he say?
Well, my brother and sister had worked there, and like he knew them, and I was just like,
So you lucked
I was
out.
caught.
You lucked out, man.
Yeah, I did. But it was a Dr. Grip pen. But like looking back, those shits were like $11.
Dude,
you remember those
lucked
pens?
out. If you were like some kid in the hood and you did that, they would probably like throw you in prison.
Yeah, seriously.
Because
I like laugh about that shit. But if I was like a black or Spanish kid,
yeah, they would.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, I remember there was this one black girl who was in my second grade class, and she was like this heavyset black girl, and the teacher was so fucked up to her, and like any other kid could have said whatever and did whatever, and the teacher would be like understanding.
Yeah.
But then when this one little black kid would act up a little bit, the teacher would lash out at her.
Yeah.
And it was definitely like subconscious racism.
Oh, hell yeah. That shit happened in a class at New Rochelle for me. I forgot the teacher's name, Mr. Green or some shit like that, but he was racist as fuck. Like, he spoke like he was from, like, the middle of Alabama or some shit.
Oh,
like,
shit.
he was like, what are y'all doing? Like, just get back to work. And then I would act a fool in that class, and he would always get mad at this one black kid who's my boy now. And I would look at the kid like, yo, I was doing all that shit. And the kid would get like in-school suspensions and write-ups, and I would just be chilling. That motherfucker was racist as fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy how the I even kind of noticed the double standard all the way back then. I was like, damn, why is she... The little girl's name was Khadidra. I was like, why is she being so tough on Khadidra? It was.
I once threw a pencil at a teacher, and all I had to do was walk I had to count the steps.
Just today, that counts as assault.
I know. I don't know why I did it. I think I was mad. I think she wanted me to read her some shit because I was in like the special reading class. Or like
you were? I'm surprised.
I was in like it was like some extra reading class or something. There was like 6 kids in the class. It was like me, this girl named Felicia, and maybe like 2 other kids.
My mom thought. Sorry, go ahead. Finish your story.
No, I think the teacher asked me to read some shit, and I threw my pencil at her, and then I was like, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble right now.
My mom actually thought that I had like developmental problems, that I had like learning disabilities, and my dad was like, "No, he just doesn't give a fuck."
That's what's up. That he realized that.
No, he 100% had me nailed. He was like,
yeah,
no.
that's what I'm saying. That's what's up.
I know, but my mom was convinced, like, oh no,
like,
he's got to go to special tutoring because he's not, like, his grades aren't that great. Meanwhile, my grades were like B's. I was like, there's nothing fucking wrong with B's. But I guess my sister had gotten A's and stuff, so they were like, why are you getting B's? And my dad was like, you have to chill. He doesn't care. Like, that's why he gets these grades. There was a slight period where, like, okay, when I was a kid, like really young, like 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, I was a little bootlicker. Like, I was a suck up to the teachers. Like, I was so young and naive that you think when you're that young that, like,
you're just a know-it-all and all that shit?
No, the opposite. That, like, obviously authority is right by definition because they're authority. Oh. So, like, whatever I will just smile and be very nice to them and be very polite, and then I would always get A's in, like, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. Then 6th, 7th, 8th came along, and that's when I guess I kind of, you're just starting to go through puberty and stuff.
I feel like it was Mr. Marriott's class for us where we sort of were like, we're going to change the tide here a little bit.
That's exactly right. That's right. That was when we met, right? Wasn't that 6th or 7th, was it?
Yeah, I still remember you sat by the window with
me and Bobby.
You and Bobby, and I was on the total opposite side by the door.
Yep, that's right. But we had the whole class cornered in the... Yeah, I remember that crystal clear. Was that 6th or 7th? Which one was that?
It's got to be 7 because I didn't come to New Rochelle until 7.
That's right. Okay. So, yeah, I feel like 6th and 7th grade, that's when I just started to start questioning stuff, and I was like, why have I been such a bootlicker? Like, why do I try to get the grades, and I just don't care. Like, why? I don't give a fuck about this. Yeah. And then eventually the grade slipped, and it became like I think maybe once or twice I had like a C plus average or something on my report card, and that's when
That's my whole career.
my mom started panicking. She was like, "Oh my," because my mom's like an old school, like,
Do well.
yeah, like do well, buy the book type lady.
Yeah.
Wonderful lady, I love her to death. But she didn't like. She couldn't fathom that I would get to an age and then go through a period where I'm just like, "Fuck this, I don't care."
Yeah.
But my dad had me pegged. He was like, "You just don't care. Like, I know you don't care."
Yeah.
So yeah, but then eventually, see, but the crazy thing is, I was still mostly managing to get like B's and B pluses without giving a fuck.
That's how I was. It was like
probably
70, 77s.
Son, like, I want to say 20% of the time I didn't even do my homework. And then another 30% of the time, if I did it, it was totally half-assed.
I don't know if it was Rogan, but he had someone on that I was actually intrigued in the conversation. It was like some psychology dude. But he was just talking about how homework is just so, like, you go to school the whole day.
And then you got to go home and do some other shit.
Go home and do some more shit for school.
Yeah.
And they wonder why we get burnt out of this shit. And it's just like, I don't want to do this stuff because we're like, it's too much of doing some shit that we don't want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it's not engaging.
And like Mr. Mont's class and shit is because we weren't forced to do anything. It was like, he was like, I'm going to give you the tools and teach you this shit. If you want to be interested in it, you could be interested in it. But I'm not going to make you go home and do some report and all this shit. And that's when we like this shit.
Yeah. And it's not engaging. Like, there's so many topics that you have to go through that you're just going through the motions for them.
Yeah.
There was always a 0% chance I would ever do anything with math in my life. Like, I get the idea of having the basics. Like, you got to teach me how to fucking balance a checkbook or something. You know what I mean? Like, basic, simple stuff like that. But once you try to get somebody like me to do calculus, I mean, you're fucking up your curriculum. Because I'm never going to do that, ever. I get that there are math majors who do that, and then they learn math stuff that's totally relevant to their job, but that certainly was never going to be me. So it's just weird that you have to go through a certain process where even when you know you're not going to be doing X, Y, and Z, they're still forcing you to learn X, Y, and Z when you're well into your teens and even your 20s.
Yeah, and it's just weird that, like, I wonder if shit's going to change because, like, even I'm thinking about like a earth science class or some shit like that. Like if I'm curious why the cloud, like if I'm outside now, 30 years old, looking up at the cloud and it looks like some weird shit and shit spiraling, I'm just going to Google like, what is a cloud that looks like this? And it's going to tell me like some like cumulonimbus or whatever the fuck that shit is called. Like,
cumulonimbus or cumulus?
You could just Google whatever the fuck you want to learn now. Like,
yeah, I always said I felt like I learned more just at home reading on my own time than I did in a classroom.
Yeah, definitely.
And then when I actually was able to pick like my major when I went to college, then I started getting A's again because I was like, I picked this shit and I want to learn it. And so I would be good at it because I was interested in it. But when you're not interested in it and you don't care, you're not going to do well.
You know what's crazy? And this is switching the topic a little bit, but I watched this one. There's one season of this show called Dirty John. And
that shit sounds terrible as fuck. That sounds like some dude takes shits on people's heads in like the subway.
Pretty much. No. It's based on a true story, and it's this guy who's like a very charming guy, and he's had all these different like he's got a wife, but then he'll have like another wife somewhere else, and like he had a girlfriend before that. And he's with all these women and he like steals their money and like really brainwashes them to like, you know, love him and all this shit. And it had me thinking like, you know, how do all these women fall for this shit? But like, it's possible because like he's charming and like it was back in the time where you could Google shit and all this stuff. And then Molly brought up the point where like, it's crazy to think that like when you go to college, you're roommates with someone that you have no idea who they are.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The first night you meet someone is like when you move into college, and then all your shit's there, and you're sleeping next to someone that you don't even know who they are. You know, like so college, this sacred ass place that like is supposed to be the safe zone. Like you're fucking rooming with someone that you have no idea who they are.
Yeah. It's
Isn't
weird.
that crazy to think?
Dude, I never went away for college. I never thought for a second that I would ever want to do that. I was like, why would I want to do that? It struck me as so weird. Like, why? Oh, you want to get away so you can pretend like you're an adult? Like, you're not an adult yet, bitch.
But that's what I'm saying. That's sort of like good thinking on your part. Like, I feel like that gets overlooked by people. Like, going to college and rooming with a random ass person.
Yeah, people just want to do shit. They're like, I've been in my hometown my whole life, and I want to do something. And it's like, okay, but that seems like a weird thing to pick. I'm going to go learn at a place where I got to drive 8 hours to get there, and then I got to sleep there next to somebody I don't know.
And pay mad money for
pay crazy amounts of money. Yeah, it's weird. College is a weird thing. I mean, it really has become, for like the privileged upper middle class kids who go to college, like it's more about the fucking drinking and shit, you know? Like it's more about like the social angle to it. I mean, think about it, man. Frats are probably there's a lot of questionable shit that happens at frats in terms of... Oh,
hell yeah.
But a lot of the people who are in frats and then graduate, like those are the motherfuckers who end up making the most money. And
because their parents are some shit. Like if you go to University of Virginia and you're in a frat.
But then also because of the connections they make in the frat. Because in the frat, one of your frat boys is going to go on to fucking be the head of a company where he sits on his ass all day and pushes numbers around on a computer screen but makes $1 million a year, and he's gonna break you off a job for $500K where you got to work fucking 35 hours a week, and it's like it's that circle jerk of money and power that just like keeps perpetuating because you get those connections. Like, oh, of course I remember Bob. Me and him were in Chi Sappa Flagnuts together, and we had to take a shit on one of the newbies. And then,
Chi Sappa Flagnuts? That sounds like a good ass frat. I would join that shit. Yeah, like, hey man, are you pledging Chi Sappa?
I wonder if they're gonna try to rein in the fucking hazing stuff because a lot of people die doing that.
That shit always gets like. It's always these dudes at like Baylor or like some weird fucking like SMU or some like ritzy ass school where it's just like a sorority president like rapes some girl because like he's just like a fucking rich, privileged fuck.
Yeah, you mean
and they get no prison time.
Yeah,
because like their dad's a lawyer or some shit like that.
Yeah,
meanwhile, like all this fucking R. Kelly shit is already blown over like a week later. Like,
son, all of his videos on YouTube got more views because of it. And I was reading the comments, and people were like, "His music's still good, though."
Yeah, like you could. It's just I forgot who said this shit, but it's like they have this test where it's like. If something happens to you, it's like, all right, here's the test. Will this matter in a month or a week or some shit, you know?
Oh, that's a good test. And then that's determining whether or not you should be upset by it.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good test. I like that.
I forgot who said it, but like that was like the Pete Davidson shit. Like Michael Rappaport was like, look, it's a month later. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. But a month ago, people were at his doorstep because he wanted to commit suicide and shit. You know, like it was the biggest news ever. Like this R. Kelly shit, motherfuckers wanted it. Like we're such a, like I still always think about like that Coney. What was that Coney?
2012. Yeah.
Like, is shit still happening in Coney? Like, what's up with Darfur? Like, do we still care about Darfur or whatever? You know,
that
like,
dude. That guy was the worst spokesman for trying to stop that guy because he eventually was like in the middle of the street dancing butt ass naked.
Who's this? The
dude who did like the Coney documentary thing?
Yeah.
He was trying to expose these like child soldiers who were doing fucked up stuff, and this guy was like keeping them hostage and stuff. The guy who made that documentary was eventually found in the like dancing on the sidewalk, butt ass naked in bright daylight.
What?
And then everybody was like, "Oh, were we wrong about the whole Coney thing? Because this is the motherfucker who tried to teach us about it."
That's weird as fuck.
Yeah, it's the weirdest story ever. But you're raising a good question. Like,
but it has that test of will this matter in a month? So like if they say in a month,
world that made
people
sense,
are still going to care about this shit.
In a world that made sense, there's shit that should, like what's happening in Yemen, that should matter in a month. People not having health insurance, that should matter in a month. But yeah, for all personal stupid bullshit, where somebody's upset about something because their whatever, some personal relationship stuff, it's like, will this matter in a month? And then you just let it slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that shit, the R. Kelly shit's already gone. And last week, everybody was talking about that
I still
shit.
want to watch that documentary, though, because I want to determine for myself whether or not I think he did some really fucked up shit.
He definitely, I mean, that documentary definitely fucking shapes out that he did some fucked up shit.
I know, but are they gonna? Is it gonna be like this? What happened to me when I did jury duty, where I felt like I was in an episode of The Twilight Zone because I was sitting on this jury and they're trying to build this case that this kid is a monster, and because he assaulted his friends and he stabbed them. But then when you learn the whole story, what happened was these two brothers tried to attack this kid, and then he took out the knife to defend himself.
Yeah.
So I was sitting on the jury,
and I
was like, this isn't even, why is he even on trial? He obviously was doing self-defense, even though you could say, he shouldn't have pulled out the knife, yada, yada. But it was still self-defense. So why are we even here? Why are we even having this conversation? So my point about the R. Kelly thing is, I'm curious if I watch it, if my takeaway is going to be, well, hold on, nobody ever said it was non-consensual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what matters, is did they say, like, some of the girls say no, and then he kind of coerced them into...
Well, supposedly he had girls, like, shitting in buckets and stuff like that.
R. Kelly did?
Yeah, like, had them, like, trapped in his house. Like,
See,
they
but
couldn't
that's
leave. They were, like slaves
if
to
he
him.
had them literally trapped in the house and locked the doors and they can't leave, then that's kidnapping. That's a crime.
Yeah.
He should be in fucking prison. Like, that's why I want to see the documentary, so I know all the details of it, because I don't want to like take what other people are saying and just go with it, because oftentimes I'll hear what other people are saying and then I'll see the real shit and I'll be like, what you said isn't even close to what really happened, you know?
Yeah. Supposedly there was I remember seeing this guy at Politicon. I think he was the one who was the moderator for like the Dennis Rodman shit.
Okay.
He supposedly is in the documentary, like trying to get at R. Kelly, and somebody came at him saying that he like sexually molested or
that's why you
sexually harassed,
get
and that like
everything.
he used to rub their shoulders when he was getting makeup on and shit like that. Like, and I feel like you would know the dude too if you saw his name, but he's like a light skinned dude, and he wears Nikes and shit, like tries to be a younger, and he was in the TYT room with us, but I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. You talking about Teray?
Yes.
Yeah,
So supposedly he was accused of doing some shit. Because he's in the documentary.
And he's the dude who got R. Kelly to kind of admit that he's a little fucked up. Because asked R. Kelly, like, are you into teenage girls? And R. Kelly paused and he was like, well, what do you mean by teenage?
Oh, gosh.
And he was like, teenage girls, girls who are in their teens. And R. Kelly was like, I got some 19-year-old friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then again, we always point this out, but those old 60s songs, every lyric is about how they like are trying to manipulate or get like with some like teenage ass girl.
Well, that's what there was the whole scandal recently about that song, Baby It's Cold Outside.
Oh, yeah.
They're saying when you actually read the lyrics and dig
that
down,
shit does sound like some rape shit.
That it's some rapey shit. It's like, I really can't stay. Baby, it's cold outside.
She says it mad times, like she's trying to leave.
He's like, I'm trying to go, and he's like, bitch, just suck me off. But seriously, I want to go, and this is getting creepy. But why don't you just give me maybe a hand job?
She says some weird shit like, hey, what's in this drink?
Oh, forget about it. Just sip it and then blow me again. Yeah, they're fucked up, man. But it's funny because, like, it is true, though, that song has been playing forever.
Yeah.
And nobody actually listens to it and then thinks, like, I'm going to go rape somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So what really is the line that makes sense? Because their song, like, fucking go listen to, what's that Chris Brown song that like, nobody even batted an eyelash, but, oh, just let me rock. Fuck you back to sleep, girl.
Oh, no, I didn't even know that shit. But that sounds fucked up.
It's like, the whole thing is about, like, him climbing into bed and the girl sleeping, and then he's like, I'm just gonna fuck you. Like,
oh, goddamn.
Yeah, like, it's but nobody even bats an eyelash, because so many songs are, like, there are plenty of songs about love, but then there's also songs about fucking. You
Oh,
know?
there's plenty of rap songs that if you, I mean, I don't know them off the top of my head, but like that lyrics are probably like, huh, huh, what?
Yeah.
Like, but no one says anything about it because it's not like, I mean, R. Kelly even has songs like that where he's saying he wants to like piss on girls and all this shit.
Does he sing about that part?
I think
No.
so. Isn't there
No.
some shit where he's
He
like, girl, I
sings
want to
about
pee on you?
No, that's Chappelle Show.
Oh, oh.
You thought that was real?
He's got to have a song where he says the word piss in it or some shit.
He doesn't. Oh, come on,
Whatever.
Cole.
See, all that shit
That
gets
was
mixed
fun.
together.
If that was real, that'd be the funniest shit ever. Chappelle Show did that where
Oh,
piss on you,
oh,
drip,
I
drip,
don't know who the
drip,
fuck
piss
did that
on you,
shit.
I'll pee on you.
He's got probably some fucked up lyrics in his song or some shit.
Oh, most of his songs are about fucking, but Chappelle Show did the pissing on you one. I wanna piss on you. Yes, it's true. Yeah, he does have some creepy ones though. Half on a baby. Can
Yeah,
we
that
go
sounds weird.
half on a baby? All I need is your body next to me.
I'm not gonna stop listening to his music. He, he makes good
He
music.
has some bangers, man. Keep it on the down low.
All his shits are banger. Like Ignition Remix, like just
Fiesta,
regular Ignition.
Fiesta with Jay-Z.
Fiesta. Yeah. Hey girl, you
Isley
wanna come
Brothers,
to my
Contagious.
hotel? Was that? I don't know if that was R. Kelly or not, but
Yeah, he was in that. But
and that was like Cassidy too, right?
yeah, Contagious is my shit though. With the Isley Brothers. You're contagious.
That's R. Kelly.
R. Kelly's in it. It's mostly the Isley Brothers song, but R. Kelly's in it.
Who are the Isley brothers? They sound like some old
You
ass
know
duo.
you just lost your hood pass right there.
I don't know who the fuck Howard
How do you not
Isley
know
who
the
used to play
Isley
for the
Brothers
Knicks.
Are? What? If I show you the Isley Brothers, you'd be like, "Oh, that's that dude."
I
It's
don't
like
think
the
so.
old school black singers, kind of like Charlie Wilson. You know who Charlie Wilson is? You have to know who
No.
Charlie. What? You just lost your pass, man.
I mean, I know like fucking Kirk Franklin, but I don't know no Charlie Gibson.
Charlie
Kirk Franklin was
Wilson.
like the gospel singer.
Charlie Wilson.
I know Mr. Wilson.
Yo, you're missing out on some bangers. I gotta play them for you next time I see you because
yeah, I don't know
there's some
Charlie
bangers.
Wilson.
Charlie Wilson did a good ass song with Snoop Dogg and Justin Timberlake.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not sure of what I see. Cupid don't fuck with me.
Oh yeah, no, I think I've heard that. I don't like Justin Timberlake. I'm tired of his shit.
What? You don't like Justin Timberlake?
He made some hot shit. I
You
bought
just
his
lost your black
2012
pass
album.
and your white pass now.
I like 2020 was good. The whatever his like optical his something experiment, whatever that shit was called.
2020 experience.
2020 experience, but some of his shit is I don't fuck with. Like his voice and the like I just nah.
Damn, you just dropped a bomb on everybody.
Yeah, but Justin Timberlake's like he's trying to be.
That's a Charlie
like,
Wilson song too. You dropped a bomb on me.
Oh, that shit I know.
baby.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
shit,
you know Charlie. I'm telling you, you know Charlie Wilson.
Yeah, but if he was like walking past me on the street, I wouldn't know who the fuck he was.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't know him if you saw him on the street, but you know his songs are. He's got some fucking hits on top of hits on top of hits.
Oh, definitely. But he's probably broke as fuck now and probably is like begging to get on the R. Kelly track or some shit.
They did like a tribute to him at the BET Awards like 3 or 4 years ago, and that shit was
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was good.
Was he in like the Bee Gees or anything like that?
Nah, they were all white dudes, the Bee Gees. But
Did
he
you
was
see on,
he wasn't in a group though. Back when he was younger,
He was or he wasn't?
he was in a group. Yeah,
Supposedly all those like black dudes who were from Motown and all that shit, my dad was telling me like they got like ripped off by
Oh, of
like
course.
these like producers and
the
shit.
music
like
industry is the worst, man. They're the
they
worst.
used to just crank out songs and like they probably got hit off nice with some money at the time, but they were getting robbed blind.
No, of course. They say, well, for actors it's a little better because they have a union. But the music industry, they don't have a union, so they just get ripped off left and right, dude.
Yeah, and especially back then when like
Back then
probably
in like the
didn't know how to
70s and
negotiate.
80s. Yeah.
Damn, imagine being fucking Stevie Wonder in that time. Like he's making all his money now. Like you could lie to him and really lie to him.
That's right. You could
Like
do
someone
that.
could be like, "Yo, that's $100 bill right there, Stevie." You're like, "Oh, thank you very much." Then he like goes to like a sneaker spot to buy some
Did you?
Jordans, and he's like, "Here's 3 of these $100 bills," and they're like, "Sir, that's $3." He's like, "What? My fucking producer got me again."
Did you ever see when they left him on stage at like the MTV Awards or something like that? No, everybody forgot that like, yo, he's blind. You're gonna have to help him off stage at the end, and they did. They performed a whole song, and then everybody walked off stage, and then he was just sitting there like this.
Oh man,
And
damn!
everybody was like, "Oh fuck, we forgot to get him."
Someone needs to tell him to shave that shit on his head because his forehead is crazy.
His forehead? What's wrong with his forehead?
His shit is like back here, and his braids start at like the fucking back.
Oh, okay. That'll be us someday, man. Don't hate.
Yeah, no, I guess I would hold on to that shit too. It's just so weird how he's got such long ass braids, but like his hairline is like some fucking middle of his head.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Tiger Woods is
go to
hanging
hell
on.
for making.
Tiger's hanging on for dear life with his hair.
I don't know why he doesn't just get the hair transplant shit.
Either get the hair transplant or shave it. You got to do one or the other. You can't just stay rocking this giant ass bald spot.
Are on the fence about that. Like LeBron and him, like don't even. Why is it even a question?
I think it's because
get that shit.
the hair transplants don't look that great. Like they're not that convincing. So I
But
think
then I've seen people that shit looks like Deion Sanders looks like he's had shit for a minute.
it is 100% more convincing than just leaving it. Like if you just leave it, it's gonna look worse. If you get it, it'll look a little better. You either got to get it or shave your head. You don't occupy that middle ground. But that's the thing that sucks about being in the process of losing your hair, because it's almost like you got to wait till you lose enough where you can get the transplant. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Like you have to wait and then do it.
And then it grows back awkwardly. Like there's a stage where it takes about a year for that shit to grow in.
Yeah. I wouldn't even want, like, if it really got to the point, I would rather have the fake fucking hair than the real one. Because at least with the fake one, like, if you lose your hair for real, and it's just gone up top, I would rather have fake hair than real hair because at least you don't have to keep fucking cutting it. If you got the fake
hair, as in like a toupee,
isn't that one of the options? Like, not a toupee, but like hair plugs that are not from like the Bosley one where they do the implant in the root and it's your own hair. Like, there's one kind of hair transplant where they literally take the roots from the back where you have hair, and then they move them to the front.
And it just stays? It doesn't continue to grow or anything like that?
The thing is, like, it's harder for the back to go away or whatever, so you take the root out, and then it could regrow in the back, but now you're going to replant it up here, and it'll be good. But I thought that one of the options was legit fake hair.
Oh, I don't know.
I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe I've just seen
hate
some
when Tiger's, like,
hair.
Crushing a tournament, and then he takes his hat off at the end to shake the caddy's hand, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he looks like young when he's got the hat on, but then when he takes it off, you're always like...
His shit is like all like bushy and weird looking.
He's got that bald spot, man. And he doesn't get that crisp, like I'm going to get a 1 all around or a 2 all around. He's always got like a weird length too with the missing hair. Yeah,
and it's like curly and sort of just like he's got this tan line from his head, like his forehead.
Yep. The tan line is a problem for golfers, man. Golfers get fucked up with the tan line when they wear a hat when they're outside.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I never really worn sunglasses because I've always just.
Oh, you're afraid of the? Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I like getting like my skin is pale as it is. I like getting some fucking like UV rays or whatever the fuck you get on your face from the sun. And sunglasses will always leave me those outprints. But either way, when I tan without sunglasses on, I still get like those raccoon eyes because there's just like a big divot in my eye that like doesn't get color, you know?
Yeah, you don't get it evenly.
It's so weird that if you forget to put on a blazing sun, I think I forgot to put sunscreen on my ears one time.
That'll fuck you up, man.
Oh, and those shits were burning like a motherfucker. Because you can't even sleep on those shits.
No, it'll fuck you up. If you really get tapped by the sun bad, if you're out in the sun all day, no sunscreen, not a good look. Your skin will peel at a certain point. It'll get red. Yeah.
You ever try sleeping, like being sunburnt?
Yes, it's horrendous. You can't.
Oh, it's like being on like aluminum foil.
Yeah, it's bad.
And then
my buddy once had like legit like, I don't know what degree burns, but he had actual clinical burns where he had to go to the hospital because it was so painful.
It's so uncomfortable. Oh, I can't. I don't even want to. You know what scares me? Is like, I'm gonna be in that position again in my life. Like I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but
be sunburnt
if you just
laying in bed.
always wear the sunscreen, you'll be good money.
No, because if I had told myself before that, like I've definitely have been sunburnt before, and before that I was like, I'm never getting sunburnt like this again, and I did.
Yeah, you're saying it's definitely going to happen, even though you want to try to wear sunscreen every time.
Yeah, or if
Yeah.
I'm on the toilet like blowing it up, and my stomach hurts, I'm like, I'm never gonna eat a combination of mac and cheese, Chipotle, cookies and cream ice cream, and some soda again because that's the combo that fucks me up. And then like a week later, I'll be back on the toilet like, oh fuck.
Yeah, people, I get like, there are so many people who cannot handle spicy food, but then they'll be like, I'm going to get the spicy shit. And then I'm always thinking like, you're going to be shitting your brains out later.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why would you do that? But they just
I'm-
want the spicy shit. And it's like, oh, just make the better decision right now. It happens with you. You told me the green sauce from Chipotle fucked you
I
up.
was just gonna say I'm
then
on
you
I'm
always-
on a timer right now because I went to Chipotle. That's what I got when I got off the train.
Oh, you fucked up.
I got the green, and I got the corn, and I got the
Does
sour
it taste
cream.
that good that you know you...
No,
like,
it's not
you'll-
even that good. It's just muscle memory to order like that. Like
Oh, that's
there's
the
certain
funniest thing
muscle
I've heard
memory
all
you
day.
keep while ordering. You know,
You keep ordering it, and you know it's gonna fuck up your stomach, and you're like, it's not even that good. I just get it.
it's like someone who gets an iced coffee. Like you ever hear iced coffee orders from people? They're like, I'm gonna get 4 Splendas, 2 milks, cream, and 1 drop of this. Like you can't change up some shit. Like I go to Chipotle, I'm not gonna be like, let me get the rice, the beans,
You're
and
bugging
then
slightly.
skip over the green salsa.
You're slightly bugging because I always tweak it a little bit when I go to Chipotle.
Oh, really?
Sometimes I get the chicken. Sometimes I get the steak. There are certain things I always get. I always get brown rice.
Yeah, I get the white shit.
I
I'll
usually
vary between chicken and steak, but like once you start getting over to the condiments, you can't really vary that much.
I do though. I do.
Oh, really?
Sometimes I get guacamole, but sometimes I don't get guacamole. Sometimes I get mild salsa, but sometimes I don't get mild salsa.
And you don't feel like you're missing out when you get some shit and you don't get some shit?
You see, my whole philosophy at Chipotle is you have to pick your battles because if I were to get everything that I first look at and I'm like, damn, I want that, then my burrito or the bowl would be so big, so packed that you can't even enjoy it because it's just too much. So you have to pick your battles. You have to be like, okay, today I have to leave the cheese out of this equation. Like the no cheese in today's thing. Like we got to just go with some mild salsa today, a little bit of sour cream. That's the other thing. You got to pick your battles between sour cream and guacamole because when you get them together, it's too creamy.
Sounds like an acid combo.
Yeah, it's too creamy.
Yeah, you know you've won when they can't wrap the shit, like when they got to call them back up to wrap the wrap.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. You got to be careful.
That's a good thing. That's a good feeling though.
Nah, I get like, yo, you kind of packed that burrito too much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when you struggle to even bite it, it's like, wow, you guys really fucking made this a Mondo burger.
Yeah, I guess so. Or you bite it and the whole shit fucking comes undone.
That happens quite a bit.
That's not a good feeling either.
You got to have an experienced burrito folder.
Burritoist.
Burrito.
Chipotle should be like a government job. That should be like. I give a lot of credit to the people. I don't know what else is a government job. I thought like the postal service was a government job.
That is.
No, not like the shit that gives us our mail. I mean,
United States Postal Service, USPS is the government. UPS is not, and FedEx is not. But
so those mailmen are just working on their own dime right now, like still delivering our
they're
mail.
Probably
and shit
getting
like
back. I don't know if they were part of the government shutdown where they had back pay. I don't know, but it's
I don't
possible.
think that shit was part of it because like post offices are still open and shit.
Well, then they may have been exempt from the partial government shutdown. Like there's certain things that are exempt from the government shutdown, but they may or may not have been in that. But they are the government. USPS, United States Postal Service, is the government.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what else other shits are. Like I guess TSA is.
TSA is, yeah.
But
I'm sure they have a list that you could go through everything and you could see.
There's some shit I walk by.
National parks. People who work at the national parks. There's a big problem with bathrooms at the national parks and stuff.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because they usually on the highways and stuff. They upkeep it on the highways, and then now with them not upkeeping it on the highways, it's been a mess.
Oh, really?
Shit everywhere. Yeah.
You were just shitting on the walls and stuff.
Well, they had to close down a bunch of the bathrooms so people are shitting on the side of the highway.
Oh, you know what I get tight at? don't make bathrooms where like the floor is like some reflective, glossy type of shit where I could see the person in the stall next to me when I put my head.
Oh, that's a good point. That's definitely a creeper made those bathrooms. 100%.
Hell yeah.
100%.
They had that shit at my job where it's like if you
Let's
look
just
down at the
can
ground.
we just ban community bathrooms? I'm not a fan of community bathrooms. Or at least give me this. Give me big ass dividers between everything.
Yeah,
like-
that I'm cool with.
Like not even on some regular like the normal public bathroom divider where you walk in and like there's a divider for the toilets, but you still got the open air up top. Like make that shit go all the way to the ceiling and all the way to the ground so you give people a little room to themselves. Nobody wants to walk into a busy-ass public bathroom in the morning and you hear some old dude named Bud who's farting and he ate the green shit from Chipotle like you. Nobody wants to walk into a bathroom and hear somebody else doing all that. Like even just some regular dude like hearing the sound of some dude peeing at the urinal. I don't want to hear this dude pissing. I don't know this dude.
Yeah.
Just make it, give people, because it's possible to make it and just give people more privacy, but they don't do it probably to save money.
Yeah.
Like, we're all just cool with public bathrooms as if it's not, like, super creepy. It's so creepy.
Oh, they're very creepy. Like, and I don't put toilet paper down on the seat anymore. I'm on some fucking shit. So my ass cheeks are all over some shit that, like, Bubba the truck driver was just sitting on, crushing that shit.
Sweating on it and all
Sweating, hairy ass legs, like just all over that shit. Peeing on it. I feel like I'm polite when I'm blowing it up. Like I feel like my blow up is still not even that bad, but like someone with like a crazy ass asshole
but it's
that's just like housing that shit with like hot dogs and stuff like that.
It's impossible to not be grossed out and laughing at the same time in a situation like that. Because it's a hilarious sound, even though it's absolutely grotesque and it stinks to high heaven.
Yeah.
But it's a funny sound. You walk into a bathroom and somebody's like, I think it's mad disrespectful when you're standing at the urinal and somebody rips it.
Oh yes.
It's like, no, you didn't have to do that.
You know you're gonna fart, you go in the stall.
Yeah, you could have fucking not done that. It didn't take that much effort for you to not do that as you're pissing.
Make a funny sound, like when you're peeing and it's just like it makes the loud trumpet sound. You know, I can't even do it, but like the bing, like the.
Are you playing fucking like pinball or are you farting?
Yeah, like,
what are we doing here?
Yeah, can't make a loud trumpet sound.
Oh.
Did you see on Instagram this like picture that got more, the egg picture that got more?
Yeah, what was up with that? I didn't read the article, but I saw this.
It's just literally one picture of a brown egg.
And why are people liking it?
Because they wanted to get the most likes on Instagram. Because Kylie Jenner had that shit at like 18 million likes.
Oh, so they wanted it. Okay, so they asked for it basically. They were like, let's beat it.
It's just a picture of a fucking egg, and it got like, it's probably, I don't know what the, like I saw it was like 33 million likes on a picture of a fucking egg.
I think this story alone swayed me off of Instagram ever joining it.
That shit is just shows what type of weird ass fucking world we live in. No.
Did you see the new Gillette ad?
No.
You got to watch that new Gillette ad. So
what is this
new Gillette ad that blew up online because they're basically trying to get in on like social justice shit, and they're like they're virtue signaling about the Me Too era. Like the whole point of the ad is like, men, you know, you've been doing this for too long. There's too much sexual harassment and you got to be better. Like the whole ad is like weirdly lecturing men and virtue signaling about how men need to be better. It's so cringe and they're just trying too hard and they just see that there's this movement, the Me Too movement, and they want to be like a woke corporation.
Oh.
So they're like, and by the way, hilarious because it's Gillette and the overwhelming majority of the customers for Gillette are men.
Yeah.
And so you're going to fucking release an ad that's like generalizing about how men need to do better and like not realize how stupid that is even from a business perspective, even though they're trying to fucking use this to improve their business.
Yeah, but in reality, in the big scheme of thing, that shit doesn't even affect me. Like if I don't even know what it's. I'm not loyal to like a deodorant brand. I feel like
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
agree.
what
I'm
I
not either.
choose.
I'm not.
Like it's not like I see Gillette and I'm gonna like not choose it because of the commercial.
Well, I
I
will
feel like
say
men all think like that.
I am loyal to shaving cream over shaving gel.
Shaving
I like the
cream.
cream better than the gel.
Yeah, I think I use the cream
I
also.
like the
But
cream
I
better
would
than the
use the
gel.
gel
I would if I
that's it.
needed to. I would use it, but I
Yeah.
like the cream better.
But deodorant, it's not like I could use any deodorant. I think I prefer a spray, but I'll still use like the Old Spice, like just like regular.
I like spray too, but I now I have
The gel thing is good too. This
gel is
like
good, but I don't have that
right?
now. I got like a regular ass speed stick
Yeah.
that I just put on as like the normal deodorant.
Yeah, Speed Stick is the one that makes the gel too.
But
It's
the
like
one
a
I have
weird
is not gel. It's the
Uh-huh.
like chalky shit.
It seems like such a weird company, Speed Stick.
It
That's
is,
got. I
'cause
think
it's so
that's owned by
generic.
Gillette or something.
It might be. I don't know. But anyway, that commercial was so fucking cringe. And then you had
Yeah,
like
it's weird.
people on the right hate it because they obviously don't like the fact that they're like that it's kind of shitting on men.
Yeah.
But then people on the left are now defending it because they don't like the people on the right hate it. And it's just such a fuck. It's like, all you shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, all of you. God damn it. You're
All those
talking about a
commercials are
fucking
gonna go
Gillette
away.
ad. I mean, they're arguing about it. They're arguing about a Gillette ad. It's so stupid. It's like our planet is burning down.
And they're worried about a fucking Gillette ad.
Yeah, and they're arguing over it and trying to score cheap ass political points.
Oh,
But
but that's why all commercials and all these like corporations are going to be done soon. Just because I mean,
hate the thing I can't stand is the disingenuousness of the woke corporation shit.
yeah,
It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, their whole thing now is, okay, just so everybody knows, we're down with gays and we're down with women now. Just so everybody knows, because, like, we're just good people over here. No big deal or anything, bro, but we're just good people. But they use that to try to, like, distract from the fact that all these motherfuckers got offshore tax havens in the Cayman Islands, and they're stashing fucking hundreds of millions of dollars over there, and they're dodging taxes and shifting the tax burden onto you, and they're paying their workers garbage, and they have terrible fucking practices, economic practices. But, like, we're all supposed to give them credit because they released an ad where they're like, you know what, man, you got to do better. By the way, what fucking percentage of men have actually sexually assaulted women? What percentage do you think? What's like the worst case scenario for the percentage of men that sexually assaulted women? If you had to guess, like, what would be the worst case scenario? Like, all
13%.
That's what you think is the worst? Yeah, I was gonna say worst case scenario 10%. So we're about in the same ballpark. Yeah. So worst case scenario, like 9 out of 10 guys are good people, and they're releasing these ads that are like, you know what, guys, fucking shape up, all right? What? What are you saying? Why? Why is that okay? Like, why do you get to just shit on regular people like that?
All you need is just one incident to fucking like just make that shit a big deal, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we all know that fucking Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby were the worst. They were guilty as fuck.
Oh, hell yeah.
But it's weird how that's like now they could just lump in with them. You could take like Aziz Ansari, who just had a bad date, and they just lump him in.
Yeah, I don't know why he went off the map for so long. Like, it's like, dude, you can come out now. You're good.
No, but that's the thing, is like, to a lot of people he's not, and it's fucked up. It's like with the Louis C.K. thing. Like, was there gonna be a time frame where, let's say he went away for 3 years and then came back? Would they be pissed at him when he comes back? Maybe.
But
right?
I'm sort of mad. Like, I'm sort of mad at Aziz. Like, yo, you're going away for too long now, bro.
Well, that's because some people are still acting like he did something, even though he didn't.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's like he's dumb. Like,
Well,
he's
they
like,
tried to
dude,
do it
come
to
back.
Chris Hardwick too. They tried to say
get Chris Hardwick.
They tried to get Chris Hardwick, and then
fuck
come
with
to
Chris
find out
Hardwick.
it was like some Aziz Ansari shit where it wasn't real. They literally, I think like AMC or one of his employers opened up an investigation, and then they cleared him, and they were like, he didn't do anything wrong. And then he was wearing like a fucking some like Me Too shit at the like one of the award shows, and everybody was dunking on him on Twitter like, oh, you're wearing that thing, meanwhile you fucking did this and this. And it's like, no, motherfucker, he actually didn't do that. You know, like, all it just takes is somebody saying it, and it's like, that's it. you're done.
Yeah, they can't come at Chris Hardwick. That's my guy, man. He does fucking...
Yeah, and he was fucking found innocent, and they're acting like he's a bad dude.
He definitely did some shit on like Singled Out back on MTV days. There was probably no rules back on MTV when that shit was like... No, they're probably not, but like...
But it was
MTV back
MTV
in like
culture back in the day was creepy as fuck, though. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Carson Daly was probably fucking doing some weird ass shit on TRL after he got off the air.
Possibly. I could see that.
But he might be on some shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might be swinging both sides of the plate.
Yeah, I think so too.
He used to like paint his, I mean, nothing wrong with it, but he used to like paint his nails and all this shit and do weird stuff on TRL.
Yeah, but he would do like the one black nail, which was that was
weird.
hot back in the day. People used to do that all the time back in the day.
Yeah.
That was
I wonder what Corin is doing right now.
Smoking weed, chilling.
Just like have like a platinum record up on their wall, like, oh,
yeah,
we were good one day.
But they only got $97.26 left in that bank account, though.
It's all about the nookie.
No, that's Limp Bizkit.
Oh, Limp Bizkit too.
That song has some hot parts to it, even though it's stupid.
They made a collaboration with Jay-Z. Remember that CD they did?
Oh my God,
like
yes.
Limp Bizkit and Jay-Z.
Remember? Wait, didn't Birdman sign somebody weird to his record label recently? And it was hilarious. It was like some white dude.
Really?
It was so funny. It may have been Limp Bizkit. Who did Birdman sign? Hold on, I gotta look this up. I was laughing my ass off one day on Twitter because it was like Birdman signed somebody, and it was somebody so random. Birdman.
They have a song now. You remember the song "Choppa Style"? Chop.
Oh, that's my shit.
That's like a big thing now because the New Orleans Saints, like they do that all in New Orleans, so that you like pretend you ride on a motorcycle, and you do that shit to the song. So I love that song came back because that dude Choppa Style is just some like hood ass New Orleans dude.
That was like one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, that song is a banger.
I used to love Mystical too.
Yeah.
Oh, Mystical. Danger.
They have Big Boy is going to be at the halftime show for the Super Bowl, but I don't think Andre 3000 is going to be back with him.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that was a Key and Peele skit. Was like Andre 3000 kept trying to get them back together.
Hilarious.
And Andre 3000.
He's like, "Why does your breath smell like birdseed?"
I don't know why some people like have to fuck up a good thing. Like someone should just hit up Andre 3000 like, "Yo, do an Outcast like reunion. Like you guys were the shit."
Yeah,
like, there's some things that are just supposed to be meant to be. Like
I know, man, but like Kelly and Zach never got married in real life, and that's fucked up. Kelly Kapowski and Zach Morris.
Yeah, I know, but they were like good on the show for a minute. Like they knew the deal. But like real life people, like people that are like Sonny and Bono and like Sonny and Cher and like Andre 3000 and fucking Big Boy. Who else is a crazy duet that like split up?
Well, it's a crime that any of the boy bands ever broke up. Like,
yeah, like
semi-fucked Justin Timberlake for ever going single, even though he dropped a lot of bangers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's some shit that like is just supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like Destiny Childs, that was okay that they broke up.
Yeah.
But like B2K's coming back now.
What?
Yeah, B2K's doing a reunion
tour. Those motherfuckers are 45 years old. How are they gonna come back?
Someone said the cheapest ticket to their shit was like $450 for some nosebleed shit.
What? I did not see that coming.
Yeah, so like Andre 3000 and Big Boy, they probably don't need the money. They're probably chilling. But like, if they did some Outkast reunion tour, I had the Outkast CD too back in the day when they were selling those shits. They're like, roses really smell like poo-poo.
I was never huge on Outkast, but they were gigantic.
Outkast was shit.
They were gigantic when we were younger.
Hell yeah. They're like, hey, yeah.
That song was everywhere. Okay, I'm looking now to see if I just typed Cash Money artist, and I'm looking. And not only do I not see whoever I was thinking of, there's not even any white people. But it was like, it was a white person, and it was somebody like old school. It was either like Kid Rock or fucking Fred Durst or something like that.
Really? It must have been some parody shit. Birdman's not fucking signing no like white artist.
There's a couple here.
He sounds like Blake Shelton or something like that.
It was some weird shit. I was like, what the fuck just happened here?
The
list. So apparently Cash Money, obviously Lil Wayne, Drake, Nicki Minaj, Birdman, Tyga, BG.
Oh, Drake's not with them anymore, though.
BG was the song where that.
Yeah, he's like,
I gotta pull that up so everybody can.
For like a good minute and a half.
Corin, explain it to everybody while I pull it up. What's that? What that? Like what?
So
that is?
basically, BG is just some hood ass dude that got a rap song, and in the middle of the song, he just goes like. For like the good 3 minutes maybe or something like that. I wonder what, like, if you look up the lyrics to that song, what they put for that part.
I'm gonna look that up in a second, but first we gotta play it for everybody. Okay, here we go. I found the song. I just gotta find the spot. It's actually kind of hot. Let me give everybody the beginning.
Yeah.
This is like Hot Boys. You got Hot Boys.
That's a banging song. Like, they had the hottest beats.
I know. You got like Manny Fresh, Birdman, Lil Wayne.
They're all on that
Juvenile.
song?
No, they're not all on this song. But Manny Fresh was on it. You heard him. And I think you heard Birdman a little bit, right? Was he there? All right, I think I'm about.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Man.
I was raised on bread and bologna. I think they're gonna hit us with it.
Moving. Get off me.
Here we go. Oh, that's so funny.
Iconic.
That's one of the songs. Jimmy said it, right? Like, it was in my basement back when we were in high school. I would play a song, and when I like a song, I like a song.
Yeah.
And I'll just play it like 80 times over.
Yeah.
And then you might walk in that day not knowing a song or not liking the song that I'm playing. But by the time you leave, next time you hear it, you're going to be like, oh, that shit is kind of hot.
Yep.
Because I just play it until you like it. And it was
you had that for the T.I. song for a minute.
What you know about that? What you know?
That was your song.
Hey, I know all about that. Yeah.
You had like a CD with just one song.
And then there was
you would get in your car and it'd be a staple that song was on.
Yeah, and then there was a bunch of Lil Wayne ones that I liked.
Yeah.
There was this freestyle that he did. Okay, I'm back. You hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's called Presidential. Yeah. It's a.
You ever thought about hanging your microphone, like some radio?
Right?
Howard Stern does that, I think.
I got that in the studio.
Oh, hanging shit?
Well, it's on an arm.
Yeah.
But
his, I
it's
think,
similar.
hangs above.
Yeah, but he's using an arm and he's just got the arm up higher. That's what that is. Yeah, it's the same thing, but it's just set up a little bit differently.
Yeah.
This was the shit I would play all the time.
Yeah.
That beat is so sick.
Damn, I want to listen. What's the name of that one?
Lil Wayne Presidential Remix.
Yeah, that was a hot song.
He shouts out Bill Clinton in this song. I remember that line.
And where you from?
But that beat is not even originally Lil Wayne. It's
really?
A song called Presidential by somebody else. I forget who. But Lil Wayne remixed it, and I think Wayne's version is hotter than the original, even though the original is good too.
Yeah, Wayne does that to a lot of songs. He'll just jack the whole fucking song.
Yeah, but that beat is crazy. Like that.
Yeah.
So that was one of the ones I used to play. Oh, Youngbloods was the one who did the original Presidential. That's what this one sounds like.
Yeah, that shit.
Just jack the beat. This was the original.
Oh, he just took the whole shit.
He just took the whole beat and then he did a freestyle.
So fucked up. I wonder if he knew him or like he just jacked the whole shit.
What'd you say?
I wonder if he knew him or if he just jacked his whole shit.
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think that he probably gets approval from them before he does it.
Yeah.
He
He
can't
does
just,
that with a lot of songs now.
he can't just jack it, you know? Like, he can't just take it.
His new song Uproar, he took the whole beat from some old school shit. Like the Harlem Shake was from or whatever like that. But he just took the whole beat and everybody's like, "Oh, that shit is hot." And it's like, yeah, it's hot because he took it from a hot ass song.
Yeah, they do. I feel like a lot of artists nowadays do that. Like, they'll take even like an old 90s banger that's not a rap song, but they'll take the beat and then start rapping to it.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple songs where I was like, that's like an old 90s song that's not even a rap song, and you took the beat from it.
Yeah.
That happens a lot now.
What if someone took one of your YouTube videos and just like played the YouTube video but put their own commentary over that shit?
How'd that be possible?
I don't know. They muted
Or,
you?
no.
Sorta
What would be dope is if they took a rant I did and dropped it with a beat behind it, and it was like the intro to their rap song.
Someone should put that fucking Lil Wayne shit and make like a music video of yours.
Yes. There was a lot of like Stunt Like My Daddy. I used to like that song.
That was a banger.
That's in the recommended. That's why I mentioned that. But yeah, a lot of the old school. We liked Wayne before anybody knew who Wayne was. Like,
yeah, before Wayne even had like tattoos and shit.
Yeah, we liked him back. Original Hot Boys Wayne.
Yeah.
So anyway,
does that dude still do the Kyle out of context? Are they still?
Oh yeah,
putting those
Leon still
together?
does that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he does. But what people got to understand is, first of all, he does it in his free time. He's just like, I like doing it, so I'm going to do it. But second of all, that shit takes a while, man. Even to get like a 4-minute video, because then for the 4-minute video, how many clips do you need of me that are 3 or 4 seconds long? Because that's how long the clips are. It's like 3 or 4 seconds of me saying something, but you got to put enough of those 3 or 4 second clips together to get 4 minutes out of it or so, and it's crazy. But those are still, people love those. People love those. Those are classics.
Do you see Trump fucking? So you think the only way he gives in on this shit is if he just signs some like order to get people back to work, but he'll still just hold out? Because at some point, people who aren't getting their paycheck are going to get fucking tight at this shit, and he's going to feel.
I think that the most likely scenario is either the Democrats offer him some sort of weird ass half measure, which allows him to save face and say like, "Oh, I got what I wanted. It's tremendous," even though he gets like not everything he wants. But I think what's more likely is they'll have some sort of deal, and Trump says, "I'll sign this deal," and then he turns around and says, "I'm declaring a national emergency, and I'm going to build the wall without Congress," because they're not going to give him his wall. Like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are not going to give him the wall.
Yeah.
So since they're not going to give him the wall, we're at an impasse. What do you do now? How do you address that? My guess is he'll eventually sign something, and he'll just say, "I'm just going to build the wall and declare a national emergency. I'm not even going to get congressional approval." And then that's when it'll go to court, and it'll be a long court battle about that.
But you said he wants to build this wall, but there's not even any like logistics behind it, right? Like he doesn't know the whole ins and outs of maybe that golf course and
he doesn't
some
know
parts
anything.
go through Mexico and stuff like that.
He doesn't know
right?
anything, but the logistics I'm sure other people would handle. But the point is he will probably just say, "I'm going to build it without Congress." That's my guess.
Jesus.
But if he doesn't end up doing that, then he's going to have to try to save face in a weird way by claiming he won even though he didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something's got to give in some way, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi are offering spending bills that don't have border security in there. Every bill they've given him is like a massive increase in border security funding, but it's just not a wall, you know?
Oh, it's a mess.
So anyway, all right, I think we'll call it a day. We had a long podcast today, hour and 50 minutes or so. So good stuff. Hour 48.
I'm fucking tired. Now I got to sleep with the TV
tired.
on and shit.
All right, let's get you to bed. All right, guys.
Fuck all your cats out there. No, I'm just kidding.
He doesn't mean that. He loves you.
Cats
all right,
are cool.
guys. Love you. We'll talk to you soon. Everybody have a good one. Much love. Peace.